Welcome to part 24 of the Sonic Adventure Let's Play, and we are now heading into Gamma's final stage, Hot Shelter. Since this is Gamma's final stage, this is also pretty much his longest. But our objective is pretty much still the same. And, just get to the end of the stage. This is, of course, this is the last time, well, as far as this game goes. Because we're going to be shooting stuff to gain more time, which I never really understood the point of. With Hot Shelter, though, there are crates, as you just saw, those crates have packs of dynamite on them. You can blow those up the, clear paths, but just for like a warning, they don't actually give you time. And only like badniks do, so just be aware of that. And this is actually the only stage where I actually got a time over. But that's probably because I'm not really shooting like a madman. And unlike Amy, we actually head through the other side. And we blow up more badniks. It's crates and this isn't really a hard, again, this really isn't a hard final stage, but it's a bit long. But not so long that it's like stupidly long, but it can take quite a bit to complete. And here's where I have a dipshit moment. I mean, I'm just running away from the claw, and you're actually supposed to actually latch onto the claw and get to higher areas. And with this section right here, this section can be, I can actually think of why this section would be annoying, and only because of the timing. Like, the switch is actually not in the same spot like the last crane. You actually have to move. But since we're almost done with this level, we're actually on the train part of Hot Shelter. This part is pretty much automated. Along with a bit of rubber banding AI, like this part is really programmed, and like this section, and it pulls you back, but the reason is because just so you can actually shoot the shoot the badniks that are inside the canisters. Although this part is a bit annoying, only because, again, the train that I'm on actually pulled back on its own, delaying progression. But it's not really that big of a deal. Well, this is also pretty much where you put the hovering to good use. Granted, you put it to good use everywhere, but I think it just shows how cool the hovering feature is. And now we are almost done with the stage. We just gotta fall down this hole. Well, you can actually spin around and actually you gain more time. I mean, look at that, 25 seconds. And now we are coming up to the boss fight. Besides the final boss, it's pretty much, again, besides beta, this is the most challenging, but it's still pathetically easy. The platform is rotating, and you gotta avoid the missiles that home in on you. So you gotta shoot off, but you should really be since the guy is stationary, he doesn't move, so you can score multiple hits on him. And that is Hot Shelter. Curse you, Curse you who view obstruction. And I love how the platform is moving, but Gamma isn't. Alright, so now I just head back up this platform and just get to the outer shell of the egg carrier. Or where we, have cutscene. And so, units remaining in Beta and himself. Yeah, because that's what we need in a Sonic game. Suicide. Well, granted, this isn't real. Yeah, I keep saying granted. Well, I mean, this is more. This is kind of. This isn't as bad as Black Knight would later down the road, because this is at least a robot. But I don't want to talk about that game yet. Okay, so you just go across that catwalk, and we have the final boss of Gamma's story, E101 on Beta Mark II. So now, out of all the bosses, and obviously this suffers, well, not suffers, but this goes with the whole final boss thing. He is the most challenging out of all the bosses. If you try to attack it, he'll quickly dodge out of the way, and he'll also shoot missiles if you take 1 point of his health down. The time that you strike is after he charges, like, you see that rainbow, the thing around him? That's signifying that he's gonna charge at you. He'll quickly move out of the way. And it should give you enough time to actually shoot him from behind. The thing with these missiles, they home in on you, and I actually do this later in the part, but don't go after all the missiles. Take out like a few of them, then just run away, because the missiles will detonate on their own. And then he'll go into the background and shoot pretty much giant energy balls. I don't know if the residue hits you. Well, then again, I don't even want to find out. But unfortunately, I kind of failed this boss fight. Watch. Don't. And if you miss your chance, he does reset. His pattern is pretty much reset. So, cut. And now we are back. And I gotta say, this took me a little bit, but it's nothing too major. Here, one more shot, and booyah, he's dead. So that is pretty much it for Gamma. Well, his final boss it's probably the only decent boss in the entire game, only because it actually puts up a challenge. Well, granted, the other ones try to put up a challenge, but they're still pathetically easy. This one just shows. I honestly, when I first played this game, I thought the robot model was glitching out, like it was doing like a midair breakdance glitch or something. Again, poor animation at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. But Gamma is also shot, and so nothing had to work. But by the power of cuteness, Gamma realizes, well, not realizes, but there's also there's also another Flicky inside of him. So where's that flashback? There we go. And by the power of cuteness overload, Gamma dies. Yep, we're not going to be seeing him anytime soon. Well, he does make a cameo in Sonic Adventure 2. It was like one of the enemies in Eggman's base, but in terms of that kind of Gamma, that's actually the last time we'll be seeing him in a main Sonic game. It's gotta be one giant explosion. And just when the birds are about out to... no, it fades to black. Just when things are getting emotional. Okay, so that is it for Gamma. And my final thoughts on Gamma. Alright. Since it kind of suffers the same issue I have with Big, it's not as bad as Big. It's actually not as bad only because you're not actually... The gameplay is not boring, and it doesn't feel broken at times. And when I say those, I mean I'd rather shoot something up than fish. And there's really nothing that makes Gamma feel broken. And it's incredibly fun just blowing everything up in your sight. Hey, but again, what does this have to do with the Blue Hedgehog? Again, for that matter, with Gamma's story, what does that have to do with Chaos? This is my question. And I get it that you have to have a side story. I get it. I'm all for side stories. I mean, but the fact that Gamma goes to the whole past sequence, like Amy and Big, it just comes off to as what's their share in the main story? But that's really my only complaint. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have too much. I don't have too much complaints about Gamma. I mean, he has an okay gameplay style. And it gets brought back in SA2, where it's kind of butchered in a way. Yeah, I mean, for one thing, there's no time limit, which I don't think it's butchering, but it's something. But we are not done here yet with this LP. Because once you complete all the stories, you actually unlock a final story that pretty much ties everything in together and wraps this whole game up. So, and I gotta be honest, I'll get that part. I'll just get it up as soon as I can. I decided not to take a break, at least for that one. Only because it's a very short story, and I just don't want to waste too much time in prolonging the wait. If that makes any sense. I don't really know this song, honestly. I never listened to it. But it's okay. Yeah, I'll I'll just go on for say I still love this game's soundtrack. Like, I mean, this is great stuff. But I'm gonna talk about that in the final thought in the finale of this video, which I think might be next part. But I'll see what happens. And again, it's a very short story, so who knows? Maybe it's one part, maybe it's two parts. But yeah. So, the next time and we're playing Sonic Adventure, we are going to be tackling the final story. So I'm